Neil Williams here, president of Turnkey Parlor Ice Cream Equipment Superstore. We buy and sell machines. Today I just wanted to show you how to adjust the hardness, the viscosity of the machine and the product that's extruded out of the cylinder. And also, if you're in there, you might as well check the temperature for the hopper, the mix, the setting, check that setting as well. And the other one is standby, which is nighttime mode. Okay, you can check all three temperatures and see where they're set at, where the dial is set at. Essentially, you just take this cover off by unscrewing. Pretty simple. Pop it off, put it up here. Careful not to unplug any of the wiring when you're putting the panel up on top. And now we'll go to step 2. So I just took the cover off. This is what it looks like inside. And those 3 blue squares represent viscosity. If you can see that there. Viscosity is the hardness of the product coming out of the cylinder when you're serving someone. Okay? Hardness, viscosity, basically the temperature of the extruded product. Okay? The ice cream. Mix. That's the hoppers on top. That's the liquid mix that feeds into the cylinder. That's the temperature of the hopper, which is refrigerated. So that's going to be anywhere from 33 to 40 degrees. Somewhere in the 35, 36 range is probably best. And then the last one is standby. Okay, standby is nighttime or when the machine isn't really being used. Mostly at night if you're not going to empty the machine. These small machines, a lot of people empty them every day, and that's just maybe it's a little more work, but not a bad idea to empty it every night. If you don't, you keep it in standby overnight, and that means it cycles a lot less and costs you less in electricity and so on. Okay, so each one of these dials, if you grab a little screwdriver, it's basically like a clock from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., let's say, right? And if you turn it counterclockwise, you're gonna get warmer. And if you turn it clockwise, right, stick a little screwdriver in there, flathead, and you turn it to the right clockwise, it's gonna make it colder. So if you turn the viscosity to the right on those dials, you're gonna get harder product, okay? The mix, obviously also, if the walls of your hopper are freezing where the mix is, or you're getting ice in that hopper, you're gonna wanna turn that to the left, turn it down, okay? And then lastly, standby. Standby liquefies both the hopper and the cylinder during the night, and it makes the machine cycle a lot less than it does when it's freezing product. So it liquefies everything, and then in the morning, you go through morning procedures to get everything back to normal, okay? But that's the way to adjust your temperatures, and all 3 of these are very important. One more thing I wanted to add, when you're adjusting these dials, okay, to the right or to the left, left is counterclockwise, that makes things warmer, right is clockwise, that makes things colder, okay? Just be aware, you probably don't want to move it more than an hour at a time on the clock and see how it reacts. And it's going to take at least, 15, 20 minutes depending on how cold it was and how much warmer you're trying to make it, or vice versa. So you can't make any immediate judgments on that you've reached the right dial. But if you go too far right or too far left, that's probably not a great idea. You want to do this gradually and find the sweet spot. And the sweet spot will vary on what kind of mix you're using, what flavors, so on and so forth. But you need to make sure that you understand that this is not immediate. When you turn one of these thermostat dials, it takes, maybe 10, 15 minutes or something in that nature to be able to see what the result is, maybe longer.